Hey, what the hell's going on, you guys? It's Typical Play Negative AE, and welcome back to another episode of Higurashi When They Cry. Last we left off, we had just kind of finished escaping from a Bible school. We were driving down a road. Now, I did ask how the sound was in the previous episode. I know some people said that the sound was okay, and then Insult was telling me that maybe everything the background music and the voices could be maybe a little bit louder, so I've increased the volume of everything. Let me know if I've went too far. I tend to do that, but I wanted to make sure that everything was all right. So let me know how the sound is comparative to last time, and I guess we just continue on. Oh yeah, tips. Let's see what the tips are that we got here. Is this a new tips area song? Now it may sound like I haven't raised the sound, but these songs that they're giving me are very quiet. But I promise you, I've raised the background music. Like this is just a quiet song. Uh, June 1982. Satoshi Hyojo disappeared several days after the Tanagashi festival. There were three possible reasons for this disappearance. One possibility is that it was an accident. Dead bodies sometimes end up in irrigation channels a few months after hit and run incidents. But since the police did a thorough search of the area and hadn't found his body, this possibility seems small. The second possibility is a self-motivated disappearance. Satoshi-kun had been living in dire circumstances. His close friends actually heard him imply he might run away. The police thought that he skipped town after killing his aunt. That seemed plausible considering that aspect. But the police arrested another person for the murder, so this hypothesis must also be considered false. The last possibility is that he was involved in the series of mysterious deaths in Hinamizawa. It is also called the curse of Oyashiro-sama. He fell victim to it and disappeared. Unless Oyashiro-sama's occult power is actually verified, this curse must be the act of humans. This is kind of hitting on the. Hold on, let me just continue. It's only natural to assume that Satoshi-kun was made to disappear by someone's will. So the question is, whose? The possibilities are quite limited. The culprit is either a member of the Sonozaki family, a member of the three families, or one of their many relatives. Police can assume that easily. Need to think beyond that. Who did it? How did it happen? And why did it have to be done? Why did Satoshi-kun fall victim? What was the motive? Who gave out that order? Who actually did it? The mastermind, the culprit, and the truth are all in reach of my grasp. Maybe I'll find them right behind my back. Even so, I can't reach everywhere. There are many parts of my back I have to make an effort to reach, clenching my teeth and cracking my joints so that the tips of my fingers can barely touch them. The truth is, the truth is hidden in places like this. I'm writing this because I need to organize my thoughts and memories. Nobody will read it other than myself. But if somebody does, that means either I threw these notes away because I no longer needed them, or I fell victim to the curse of Oyashiro-sama in the middle of my attempt to solve the mystery. If it was the former, that's okay. But if it was the latter, please, I want you to help me. Please help this powerless young girl. Part of me was thinking that I mean a while ago, like not recently obviously, but in one of the episodes it was just kind of like it seemed like Satoshi was Oyashiro-sama. And I remember saying to you guys, I think Satoshi has a way bigger role in this than I think, but I don't want to say anything, right? I was like, oh, okay, because I didn't want to come out with the bombshell that, like, Satoshi was Oyashiro-sama all along. That kind of hit on that a little bit. like it was like, oh, if it has to be, someone had to order it. But what if he just disappeared just so he could become Oyashiro-sama from behind the scenes? Like, how hard is that to believe? I don't know. I'd have to think about it. Obviously, this is gonna answer some questions, so I'm putting too many questions forth to be answered, and I just wanna see. 1982 AD. Glad we're in the AD. 5th year of the series of death, also known as Morishio's Sama's curse. 1 year prior to Keiichi Maebara's transfer. 1 year prior. Okay, so we're a year prior to our normal storyline, I believe. Okay, I'm ready. I didn't hear a wake-up chime. I'm not in school anymore. My brain is half asleep, but I'm aware of that. Waking up at the same time as the chime would go off. At the same time as the chime would go off at school doesn't feel good. I can't go back to sleep after this. Still, I'm not going to live a torturous school life anymore. I can make today either happy or boring. It's up to me. Yay, that's really positive. I feel like I'm alive for the first time in a while. I didn't have any other clothes, so I was still wearing the school track uniform. It's supposed to have been designed by some famous Italian person, but it just looks plain to me. It really doesn't feel great to still be in clothes from that school. I want to enjoy my freedom as soon as possible. I especially don't want to walk around outside wearing it. I should have Kasai bring me some new clothes later. And I should think of redecorating this room. After all, this is going to be my castle from now on. This room is a gorgeous apartment building in the suburbs of Okinomiya. The property is a realtor and my dad's conglomerate obtained after foreclosure due to some sort of dispute. Most of the residents moved out during that. So while there are plenty of rooms, it's a lonely complex that feels devoid of people. Plus, with the exception of the manager and a scant 1 or 2 others, all the residents are shady-looking people connected to my dad. It probably won't be much longer before the virtuous residents are driven out. The apartment I'm living in used to be the room they'd used for viewings. So it looks like a room in a business hotel. It's fully furnished but lacking in daily necessities. I'll buy those things over time though. I nodded to myself. It might have looked stupid, but it helped psych me up. At the school, there was a TV only in the common room, and we weren't allowed to watch any cable channels. I zapped through all the channels as a form of emancipation. It was early in the morning, so nothing interesting was on. But I enjoyed it anyway. Commercials are fun to watch. Kasai dropped by with lunch right when I started to feel hungry.
Shion-san, ゆうべはよく眠れましたか?
ソファーに毛布でゴロ寝は結構辛いです。やっぱ日本人はちゃんと布団敷いて床に寝ないとね。たくあんが美味しい。
それはよかった。後で必要なものを教えてくれ。可能な限り揃えるようにします。
ありがとう。あ、でもそんなに気を使う。私の好きで始めた生活だし。葛西だってたかられたらお財布持たないでしょ
I have to be serious about my plan. I can't let myself take advantage of Kasai's wallet forever.
バイトでもしようと思います。生活費くらいは自分で稼がないとね。私が選んだ生活なんだから、自分で何とかするのは当然。
それはたくましい限りです。でもいいんですか? 外を歩けばやがては。
そこは少しは考え、そこでミオンの力がいるわけよ。葛西さ、本家に電話してもらっていい？ミオンが出たら受話器代わって。
やれやれ。何を企ん、どういう作戦ですか?
What kind of plan is that? I guess she doesn't know. I guess she doesn't know that Mion's a bitch. It's funny to me that we're calling the main house, even though that's the place I most want to avoid at the moment.
もしもし。
おはようございます。ミオンさんですか？ご無沙汰しています。葛西です。ええ。おはようございます。少しお待ちいただけます。今受話器を変わります。
I take the headset. This is a bad idea from the start.
もしもし。私が誰だかわかります？その声は。でもそんなはずは。シオンの寮は使用電話禁止だったはず。そんなはずはない。学園では外部との電話は禁止だからね。それが電話してきたってことは、血の巡りの悪いお姉でも意味がわかるでしょ。あんた、学園抜け出したの？どうやって？そんなことはどうでもいい。会いたかったですよ、お姉。シオン。
That was as far as I could take it, and Mion had hit her limit too. We both burst into laughter, unable to keep up our act. It's been a while since we laughed out loud with each other like this.
久しぶりだよ、シオン。あんた本当にどうしたの？どうしたもこうしたも。別に私は嘘を吐いてないです。じゃああんた本当に脱走したの？やる。私を閉じ込めておくには。学園はシオンが穏便に脱走した。本気のシオンだったら全施設を爆破してから脱走する。爆破はできないけど放火くらいはやるかもね。
Kasai smiled at us in amazement, his face a blend of amusement and I mean, this is going better than I thought it was gonna go. Amusement and exasperation.
おね、今は電話大丈夫なの？
I thought this was gonna go terribly, but it's going alright.
大丈夫。バッチャはお稽古に行って、今日は帰りは夕方になるって言って。それは交通。近いうちに会って話をしましょう。とりあえず今日のところは電話で。うん。本家に学園から私。んや、来てない。本家の電話も来客も全部私が通すから、私を素通りしてバッチャに。だから来てないって断言で。ほう、そりゃすごい。さすが園崎本家次期当主。私はそんなの嫌だよ。鬼がついてるのはお姉でしょ。まあせいぜい頑張ってください。陰ながら応援いたしております。まあそんなことはどうでもいいや。すごい人事っぽい言い方だな。
This is a very friendly relationship that I'm seeing between these two.
まあいいや。私関連で何か動きがあったら葛西に連絡をよろです。ここの番号はお姉には教えてもいいかなと思うけど。ごめん。そうだね。学園脱走したって話がバッチャのみ。連絡の件は了解。何か動きがあったら葛西さん。ありがとうです。それとあとお姉に。そう来ると思った。あ、お金は無理だよ。
Okay. I get it. I understand
さすがにお
what's
金を無
happening.
心できるとは思ってません。お姉にはちょっと私のバイトのお手伝いをお願いした。なるほどね。そういうことか。で、具体的にはどうするの？
We can communicate fast in a situation like this. We don't have to get into details because we know what's in each other's
吉
minds.
郎おじさん、吉郎おじさんの持ってるお店のどれかでバイトできない。で、シフトが決まったらお姉に。あんたがバイトしてる時間帯には消えて。めんどくさい役だな。なんですかお姉。双子の妹の頼みを断る。本当に？いいよいいよ、引き受けるよ。あんたの頼みは断ると後が嫌だ。サンキューです。今度シュランクベルタのケーキでもおごるから。
I understand. Yeah. I kind of figured that this was the kind of deal that was struck.
かわいいタルト山ほど食べさせてあげますから。あ、シオン、シュランクベルタね。去年の秋に店閉じちゃったんだよ。え？あ、うん。マスターが脳梗塞退院してからやっぱり体が惜しまれたけど。そっか。そりゃあ残念。欲張りモンブランをお腹いっぱい食べる夢はもう夢のままで終わっちゃったんですね。
I was disappointed that my favorite cake shop had closed down, but more so that this town had changed without my knowing while I was gone. It was kind of regrettable.
他にも変わったこと、私の知らないことある？いくつかある。今度会ったら全部話すね。ありがとう。私も学園で見てきたこと、近いうちに機会を設けましょう。追ってこっちから連絡し。わかった。ミオン？何？元気でやってる？もちろん。ならよかった。切るよ。じゃあね。
It's really been a while since I last talked to her. I put down the phone and heaved a sigh as Kasai brought in some tea.
結局、
吉郎おじさん、私のことを可愛がっててくれたじゃない？
It's weird because during Shion's first chapter, I had no idea what was going on. After the first chapter, I kind of suspected that Mion was trying to cover for her for some reason. But I didn't know it was as friendly as this thing, because it always seemed like Mion was surprised that Shion was in the same... I don't know if that's because like she was supposed to be covering for her, or if like they hated each other, and my instinct was that like whenever, because Mion would warn you to stay away from Shion and stuff like that, and then I don't know. And then there's that one chapter where Shion gets captured by Mion and tortured. So I just assumed that they hated each other after that. So after that, I kind of got rid of that theory that they were covering for each other and just thought that maybe they hated each other, and that's why Mion was trying to shut her out of her life. But at this point, it's looking like my previous like kind of hunch was true. I just always kind of assumed after that one episode that they hated each other, where Shion was tortured.
で、おじさんの持ってるお店のどれかでささやかに働かせてもらえたらなって。
人目に触れ、吉郎さんはいいとしても。
そのためのお姉って私が働く時間が決まったら、で、お姉は私が働いている時間わかる
Kasai looked puzzled. It's really not that difficult to
つまり
grasp.
バイト中に私が何か咎められわかり
Normal people wouldn't buy this kind of plan. But Kasai knows too well how easy it is for my sis and me to trade places.
つくづく大胆という。いやいや。
もちろん褒め言葉だよね。
Kasai looked amazed. If things go south, it'll affect him too. Considering the rules of my dad's profession, he won't be able to get away with just a mere apology. That's why he doesn't want me to do anything too risky. I think I have to make it up to him since he helped me escape, even knowing that risk.
ああ、まあ、しおんちゃんのことをどうのこうの言うやつがいたら、俺。
やっぱ吉郎おじさんはおじさんならきっと助けてくれると思ってました。
Uncle Yoshiro pounded his chest with his fist after offering me his assurance. He seemed glad that I turned to him first.
いいんだよ。俺はしおんちゃんの自分の生活、金をたかりに来たんだったら本家に突き出してるところだぜ。
ああ、おじさんこ。
Okay, as long as you know he's reliable, that's fine. I knew he was reliable. He understood my situation straight away and promised to help.
ここに置きますね。
One of the store clerks brought out a work schedule. There are many things I'm unfamiliar with written on it.
で、しおんちゃんはどのくらい？
私とお姉の都合次第できたら私の指定する日だけ入れるのがいい。
おいおい、まあな、仕方ないもんな。
I'm depending on Mion for my work. Our schedules have to match. Of course, Uncle Yoshiro understood that. But I also knew that he couldn't afford a selfish part-timer who only works when she wants to. In the end, he decided to hire me as an office helper, not an official worker. As a temp, I wouldn't have a work schedule. My uncle also decided to pay me out of his own pocket.
生活費が稼げればそれで OK です。
じゃあそういう一応金を払うんだから仕事あと事務所内じゃおじ
はいはい、分かってますよ。ふつつか者ですけど、よろしく。
こちらこそどう
Once all the business talk was over, my uncle hounded me with all kinds of questions. He asked me things like, what was it like in a prestigious girls' boarding school? And so on. Apparently, there were all kinds of rumors going around about the St. Lucia Academy I was confined to, and everyone was curious about it. I added a few embellishments of my own, and as I explained how unordinary life at that school was, you would think that word would get out pretty much the next day about the escape, right? Like St. Lucia would immediately find out that someone had left because Shion would be gone. So then they would contact the main house, wouldn't they? Like, how are you going to hide that? Sure, you can switch places with Mion all you want. I guess all the information goes through Mion first, so... My uncle looked extremely delighted to hear all the little details about a life in a secret garden for girls. Horny bastard. Once my uncle was satisfied, it was my turn to ask all kinds of questions. I wanted to know if anything peculiar had happened while I was gone. I won't be able to act like Mion unless I can fill in the gap of information left in the past 2 years.
そんなに大きくダム戦争が終わってからこっちは
私はダムの計画中止。私がこっちにいた時は
中止発表の後の1年くらいは同盟も計画は凍結。翌年には解散式をやったよ。南沢の境内で大式典。それでダム戦争は本当。
じゃあ私が閉じ込められたすぐ戦争も終わっちゃってみんなふぬけ。
しおんちゃんなんかはダム戦争は戦争ごっこみたいで子供たちが警察のお世話になるたびに引き取りに行っていろいろいじめられた。
まあ確かに否定。私ら子供にとってはダム戦争はかなり遊べるイベントでしたし。
Uncle Yashiro seemed exasperated at how differently kids and adults treated the conflict.
そういえばバラバラ殺人なんてのがありましたよね。あのクソムカつく現場監督の野郎がバラバラにされたやつ。あれ確か犯人がまだ全員捕まってなかったですよね。捕まったんですか？
ああ、確か初犯がまだ捕まってねえんだよな。そうそう、確か捕まってないはず。
しかも南沢の当時お社様のたたりだ。あれ子供。
ああ、その翌年にも起きたんだよな。
そうそう、あれも怖かったですね。何でしたっけ？ダムの賛成派の男が事故で死んだやつ。北条だっけ？しかもまたしてもお社様を祀る渡辺。これはもうたたりしかありえないって。あれは怖かったです。うんうん。
The construction manager that everyone hated was killed and dismembered on the night of the Watanagashi festival. That incident on its own was more than intense enough for us kids. The worst part was his body was never found, which made it almost a ghost story amongst us. We seriously believed that the severed right arm was roaming in search of the body that it belonged to. It didn't take long for the rumor of Oyashiro-sama's curse to become a topic of discussion among occult researchers and the like, considering the circumstantial factors. Even so, the rumor faded away after about a year. After the dam project was officially frozen, we held Watanagashi purely as a festival. But the curse struck again. The victim was a pro-dam activist who lived in Hinamizawa by the name of Hyoja. He and his wife were on a trip when they fell from a cliff to their deaths. It was considered an accident. Technically, the police was still searching for the wife's body. If I remember correctly, they never did find it, did they? Once again, the man most worthy of Oyashiro-sama's curse fell victim on the night of the Watanagashi festival. So the fuss over Oyashiro-sama's curse rose up again. Until then, Oyashiro-sama wasn't considered very important. At least in the world of us kids, it was just the name of the object of worship in the shrine. Nothing more than that. I'd seen boys peeing on the archway, and I once stuck my hand into the offertory box. The existence of a god didn't matter much to us. But after 2 consecutive occurrences, the kids no longer doubted the existence of a curse. We were all shaking in fear of Oyashiro-sama. Everybody suddenly became interested in the old stories about him, too. We quietly listened to the musty old stories the elders had to tell. We started genuinely believing in the tales of Oyashiro-sama's miracles, which any of us would have laughed away before. Oyashiro-sama's rules were awfully simple and clear. Enemies treading into Hinamizawa will be cursed. Villagers leaving the village will be cursed. What defined the village was terribly vague. Were we never allowed to leave Hinamizawa village? Was going to Okinomiya still safe? Was a single stop enough to be out? Was a 3-day, 2-day, or 2-night hot spring trip still safe? We kids tried to draw a line. It was decided in the end that if you had a house in Hinamizawa or Okinomiya, you were safe. And it was okay to go on trips if you had a house in either area. I know it's weird, but those rules were just made up by kids after all. According to those rules, I'd be cursed, since I lived at a boarding school in such a remote area. I couldn't say it out loud because I felt embarrassed, but in fact I was a little scared of the curse.
でさ、その翌と
やっぱり2年連続っての。私は今でもお社様は
シオンちゃん、2年なんてもんじゃないよ。知らないの？
Damn, go off. Fucking, what is that, harpsichord?
知らないですよ。
The harpsichord player just went off.
何の話？
About what?
そっか、シオンちゃんはあれの直前に学園に知らないよな。
Oh, dude, lay it on me. I feel they're gonna drop some bomb right here. Uncle Yoshiro grimaced as if he said too much, as though he'd mentioned something I shouldn't know about.
何おじそこまで話を振っておい。
まあ、シオンちゃんももう小さい。
おじさん、私を見てまだ小さい子供っていうのなら、眼科行くか回しぎ。
もう、わかったよ。別に隠しゃしないよ。あったんだよ。その後も。
あったって？おじさん、さっきから何の話？
Tick. When I was very little, I always had this tick before I heard something bad. Why can I only think of that meme whenever I see that word? I'm a gnome. It was like a gnome. It was like a gnome who lived inside me was giving me a warning. Like he was poking me with a small needle. Not a gnoblin. When I felt this tick before my parents called me, they'd always either chide me or tell me something bad. So I tried to run away when I felt it. But my senses seemed to have grown dull over the years. Even though my gnome poked at me, I just sat there.
な、実は賛成派の北条が、つまりは去年なんだが、またあったんだよ。
あったって、また綿流しの日に3年連続で？また？
そうなんだよ。ほら、ひなみ沢の神社あるよな、古出神社。あそこの神主が祭りの夜に突然ぽっくりいっちまって、それもまたしても綿流しの夜に。で、神さんも村長たちが集まっててんやわんやの。
You're gonna halfway point it there? A weird place to halfway point. They're providing their own cliffhangers at this point. I think the bit about the illness
休
is
止したってのは本当。神主さんは綿流しの準備で大変だったと思うし、急性心不全とかそういう感じのよくあるやつだったんだ。でも綿流しの日にってのがそれも3年連続で。普通に考えたら人の死がこうも同じ日に重なるなんてことは考えられない。警察も検視したみたいだけど、その後に特に騒がなかったってことは 死因に不審な点はなかったってことじゃないの？まあでも、シオンの言う通り、人の死が3年も続いて綿流しの日に重なると、それにさっきお姉も言った通り、お社様にたたられそうな人ばかり開始する。これは絶対に何かあります。たたりでも陰謀でも、とにかく絶対裏に何か因果関係がある。
I decided to meet up with Mion at the library near the Okimiya station. Well, of course, yeah. I mean, I agree with this whole thing. I'm just surprised that we don't know about it. Or that he doesn't know about it. I don't know. Decided to meet up with Mion at the library near the Okimiya train station. Not that I don't trust Mion, I just don't want to let her know where I live. Not many people use this library, so I won't see anyone from Hinamizawa here. It's very convenient for meeting someone in secret. After we discussed my life plan and work schedule, we moved to small talk. I've been away from this town for years. Things have changed. I asked Mion about those changes in detail in order to fill in the gaps. While talking about various things, I brought up what Uncle Yoshiro had told me about Oyashiro-sama's curse. Even before I left this town, the curse had already struck twice. The dismemberment murder on the first year left quite an impact. And the year after, a pro-dam activist couple fell off the cliff. On the day the village was supposed to be enjoying their first Watanagashi festival since the dam project was indefinitely frozen. This one also left quite the impact. The evil construction site manager was punished. And the next year, the traitor to the village met the same fate. It's like voice hits. That's crazy. If it had only happened once, that people would have concluded that it was just a bizarre coincidence. But when it happened 2 years in a row, people were far more likely to believe it was a curse. I know up to that part. After I left the town, the curse struck again for the third time. People talked about the curse more intensely than ever, both in Hinamizawa and Okinomiya. I have to rethink this. Oyashiro-sama's curse has drastically gained credibility while I was away. It was still unclear with the first two incidents, but after it continued for 3 years straight, people's doubts changed to convictions. Even though the priest who died on the third year wasn't an enemy of the villagers, the fact that the people in Hinamizawa didn't care for him much added even more credibility to the idea.
神主は確か嫌われてませんでした？同盟の役員から。日和見主義なんじゃないかって叩かれ、戦争末期は同盟内でも神主さんの穏健な態度はそういう人たちにとって気に食わないものだったと思うね。
The priest had looked strict and scary. The way he spoke was always so formal. But in reality, he was very warm and reserved. Maybe it was because he was a son-in-law, having married into his family. I'm sure the priest and his personality were the perfect fit for managing the shrine that was used for summer festivals and village meetings. But that gathering spot style of atmosphere of the shrine changed completely when the dam war broke out and it became the headquarters for Onagafuji Guardians. Prior to the dam protests, hardly anyone worshipped Oyashiro-sama. Of course, the devout elders paid worship to him, but the average person treated our god like how you'd treat fortune-telling. Once the dam protests began, Oyashiro-sama suddenly hauled that as the symbol of the village's resistance. Tracing Oyashiro-sama's faith back to its roots was an exclusive, elitist faith that believed its members were descended from a holy ancestor, different from the masses at the foot of the mountain, and that those tainted masses would never come near the village. Of course, such self-centered ideology wasn't acceptable anymore in peaceful post-war Japan, so this doctrine was abandoned over time. Still, that idea remained, and they trudged it back up to fan the flames of nationalism and unite the town against the dam project. With the revival of those ideas, things only grew more radical by the day. It didn't take very long for the Onagafuchi Guardians to become aggressive. After that, we were in a state of war. 100 million burning as one. Kill the white savages. Jesus, we want naught but victory. Adults and kids were gnawing at the bit, avid to repel the foreign invaders. Describing it like that makes it sound kind of awful, a reminder that the dark times of wartime Japan. But, like I said before, for us kids, it felt less like a war and more like a village-wide festival. Yet, despite calling it a festival, dissenters were treated coldly. Their heartlessness lived up to the expression wartime regimen. Wartime regime. I'm sorry. The Hyojo couple who voiced their acceptance of the dam project in the midst of that atmosphere were truly brave. Then, on the second year of the curse, they died in an accident, and everyone believed it was Oyashiro-sama's curse without question. They were branded traitors and enemies of the village. The Hyojo couple, faced with worse than just being ostracized as traitors, everyone gave them the cold shoulder and talked behind their backs. The only person who didn't treat them badly was the priest. While the priest never objected to the anti-dam movement, he also never objected to the Hyojo couple's advocacy for accepting the government's eviction and restitution to rebuild new lives. Those unforgivable Hyojos became a slogan as the three families, especially the Sonozakis, united the village by turning them into scapegoats. So they must have found it very shameful to have a fellow member of the three families approve that, especially when it was the priest of the shrine that had become a symbol for the dam protest. The central figures in Yamizawa, the three families, were the backbones of Onagafuchi Guardians, so a difference of opinion was undesirable. And the priest was never accused of anything, but secretly people whispered that he was a heretic, and that he was unfit to serve as Oyashiro-sama's priest. That Oyashiro-sama's curse would soon strike him down, along with other rumors.
今にして考えると、神主さんって結構大人だったのかもねって思いません?
He was pretty cool, managing to keep his head and remain neutral while everyone around him grew fervent. I thought Mion would share my opinion when I chimed back in. But when Mion gave me a forced smile and didn't agree with me, I was taken by surprise.
本当に大人だったら、あそこは周りに合わせて強調すべきところだったと思うね。フルデのおじさんは単に神社の神主だっただけじゃなく、ひなみ沢全体が結束しなくちゃならない時に模範となるべき御三家の人間がそれが大人と呼べるかどうかは私には難しいな。
I was taken aback. I barely managed to say the following. Even though we're identical twins, we still had our own unique identities. Every now and then our opinions differed, but usually over some trivial matter. We never had a difference of opinion this big. It wasn't an enjoyable feeling. I decided to probe her some more.
お姉の言う協調って言葉、つまりそれって何？村全体を考えて神主さんは自分の考えを隠しているべきだ。要するに全体主義の中でこう主張するなと。そういう、別にそこまでは言わないけど、ただやっぱり御三家の長の一人なんだから、もう少し言動は慎重にしてもよかったんじゃないかって、そういうことだよ。
Mion faltered a bit as my tone grew more like a cross-examination. I realized I was speaking a bit too harshly. What Mion expressed was probably the more mature opinion on our scale. When everyone needs to work together to stand up to a vast enemy like the government, people should refrain from actions that would destabilize that alliance. Writing it out and reading it now, I can understand that. But I wasn't mature enough to agree to such a totalitarian idea. Jesus, I've been a word since I've seen that. It's been a while since I've seen that word. Or maybe it wasn't me at all. It was Mion who made that mature judgment. We've been separated for over a year. I've been away from the town. In the meantime, Mion has been training to take over the headship of the Sotozaki family. She'd been treated as such even before I was confined to that institution. She sat next to the hag in ceremonies and in meetings. She took her place when the hag was absent. But that was just it. We were never that different. Mion has become like a successor. Mion has become very like a successor since I've been gone. Mion has become very like a successor since I've been gone. I don't know why that's weird to read.
お姉もいつの間にか大人になっちゃいましたね。
She seemed to get what I was implying.
やっぱり私もバッチャみたいな考え方にいいじゃないですか。お姉は次期当主なの。いつまでも下々と同じ考え方じゃまずいでしょ。さすが帝王学を学んだだけのことはある。そんなの学んでない。どうやればバッチャのふりができるかってそれだけだよ。シオンにだって簡単にできるよ。そんなのやりたくない。ばあさんのおもりはま疲れない程度にほどほどに頑張りなさいませ。
I didn't mean to be cold, but Mion seemed to take it that way. She smiled as if trying to pacify me. I smiled gently back at her.
おねえ。ミオン。何？確かに私たちの別離は名前を引き離され、住まいを引き離され、そして体を引き離された時もいつもね。
Mion looked down with a serious face, but then looked right back up.
あんたは私がそのあたりでもそれはそりゃ確かに確執はでもそんなのは時間で流れあんたが引け目を感じるようなことは何もない。
Up until birth, we were perfectly equal. Right after birth, we were separated by the grown-ups' priorities. I used to get mad about it when I was little. There's no denying that. But we don't have to start a disagreement over it. Mion seems to understand what I'm trying to say. We each have our own characteristics, even though we're identical twins. Only we know the differences. We're also dependent on each other because of them. Mion seems more dependent. She always worries about me. If somebody gave her a cookie, she'd divide it in two and give another one half to me. So what the fuck? That one chapter is going to be so confusing for me. Like they have to end up hating each other at some point. It seems like it's maybe started a little bit with that disagreement right there. Maybe they disagree on a lot more than they think they do. Because at some point, Mion hates Shion. Unless that's staged. Unless that was a staged thing to get Keiichi there. God, unless there's like a... Remember The Parent Trap? Do you guys ever watch The Parent Trap? That's an old-ass movie. It kind of reminds me of, like, maybe they're, like, switching lives, and maybe, like, Mion knew that... Or she couldn't, like, take it, and then she killed herself, and then Shion became... But then... Oh, God, there's definitely demons, because Mion died, but then she came back to life, and then she killed Keiichi, but then she's been dead. Oh, God, there's so much shit, dude. That chapter alone is way more confusing than all the other chapters. The second chapter, or the second episode alone is way more confusing than all the other chapters, just because of that Shion-Mion relationship. That was the second chapter, right? I don't know. On the contrary, I'm cold. I don't care about others, and if I'm satisfied, I put the candy in my mouth right away. I have to emphasize that I don't hate her, and I'm well aware that she loves me. We both know that. Mion must have been hesitating to put the candy of the successor in her mouth and was waiting to see if I was okay with that.
頑張れ、ミオン。私もシオンを頑張る。
I tapped her forehead with my fist lightly. Mion put her forehead against my fist as if trying to feel the warmth. She's Mion, and I'm Shion. She's the successor of the Sonozaki family, and I'm just a vagabond. That isn't a distinction, but rather our individuality. We shouldn't worry too much about the other anymore. We should feel relaxed living as who we are, with our own characteristics. I didn't have to say any of that out loud. We can communicate by touch, just like this.
ありがとうシオン。頑張ろうミオン。困ったことがあったらいつでも相談し、私たちはいつだってそれはこれからも何も変わらないよ。
Mion kept nodding with her forehead against my fist. I said goodbye to Mion before it turned to evening. We had talked about the things that had happened during my time away and enjoyed having that chat between sisters very much. We were able to dissolve our unsettled emotions. We didn't used to do that. Maybe it's because we hadn't seen each other for over a year. It was a late afternoon. My heart felt lighter now. I stretched and looked up at the sky. The sky was clear, blue, and far away. No matter how tall I grow, I'll never be able to touch that sky. I'm Shion Sonozaki, a girl who escaped from the life that she was forced to live. Nobody will praise me for what I did and for what I'm going to do. But this is what I chose.
なんだ、私だって大人な考え方できるじゃない。
I psyched myself up. I should go shopping for dinner. Though I have Kasai's help, I need to save money. I love junk food, but it'd be cheaper to cook. Ironically, the culinary classes from that evil school will come in handy. Why not go to the shopping district in Kame Ishiki? If I'm going there, then I need to take the other street. The cool breeze in the late afternoon felt nice on my skin. Why would you go out at all? I would just go straight home. Kasai came to the door as I was putting the stuff I had bought into the fridge. Do we know it's Kasai?
お買い物の帰りですか。お疲れ様です。
買い物程度で疲れてちゃたまんないよ。あ、葛西も食べてく？一人者にはスーパーの野菜の。
よろしいんですか。ご厄介になってもいいものでしたら、ぜひ。
Kasai looked curious about what I'd cook.
チェー、その顔は全然見てろ。
これらは冷蔵庫でいいんですか。入れておきますよ。
あ、悪いね。二人分だとお米はよっからしゅっと。
Kasai skillfully packed the food in the fridge while glancing at each item in turn. He noticed something.
シオンさん、相変わらず缶詰はダメなんですか。
I hadn't bought any. That was, of course, on purpose.
缶詰を避けての買い物。
理屈じゃ分かってんだ。無理強いされりゃ食べない。それでも
悪かったと思っても少しふざけすぎだ。だからそろそろ。
もううっさいな。男が厨房にチャラチャラ出入りしない。テレビでも見てておとなしくしててよ。
Wow. There goes Kasai. I know this sounds stupid, but I hate canned food. If somebody told me there was canned food in a meal I just ate, I'd throw up. Started with a silly thing. Kasai told me a horror story when you know, one of those urban legends about meat made from an unknown source. Like those rumors about how worm meat is mixed into burger patties or dog meat into beef bowls. Kasai had fun telling me one of those stories because of how scared I got. He had fun, but obviously I didn't. I even started to cry in the canned food section of a supermarket. That's how much I hated it. I don't freak out like that anymore, but I still don't like canned food. Since I don't like it, I don't force myself, and I now live my life naturally, avoiding the canned food. What about canned vegetables? It's like other stuff besides canned meat. I wouldn't like canned meat either. But canned vegetables? Come on. One of the big differences between us as twins is that Mion doesn't have this issue. Kasai feels responsible for this, but he can't rid me of that fear. Still, a flaw like this is actually a good thing. Otherwise, I'd be too perfect. Did they call him Kasai? I was like, Kasai. Kasai? Would you set the table? That's crazy.
いい匂いです。ごちそうになります。
His name is Kasai?
量が足りないと思ったら、あとは勝手に牛丼屋さんにでも行くこと。あ、テレビを切らないで。私は静かな食卓ってやつが苦手だから。
では、いただきます。
I just noticed that just now. She always goes kasai.
で、葛西何の用だったの？何か用事があってきたんでしょ？
I handed him a cup of tea. I could wait until dinner was over, but I wanted to get to the point quick.
食事が終わってからの方がいいかと思ってましたが。
葛西が来た時点で先に言ってくれた方がご飯の通りが良くていいかもで。
自宅に学園から電話が。
今
日 Yeah, of course.
そりゃ遅い。よっぽど表沙汰にしたくなかった。で、どうなったの？
電話は茜さんが取りました。親父さんには後で折を見て話すそうです。
Have we met the mom yet? I'm trying to think. Why haven't we met the mom yet? We've heard a lot about the dad being like a bobster and stuff, but we haven't heard much about the mom or seen the mom. Akane-san is my mom. That's what Kasai. Well, no, because.
で、母さんなんか言ってた？
Wasn't she? My mom died, didn't she? Wasn't that the story? Is that like Mion and Shion's mom died or some shit? But obviously not. Someone clarify the mother's situation. What happened with the mother? I can't remember now. Because now that they're saying that Akane-san is mom, I guess that moves that part of my brain out of the way, and now I need to fill the. I don't know. It's like she answered the phone. She's relatively on my side.
仕方のないや、こういう結果も決して。
親父にはまだ知らせ。
茜さんなりにタイミング、多分2、3日中には話すものと思います。
親父はばあさん寄りだからな。耳に入れば自動的にで、伝わったら見つけ次第即刻ここへ。申し開きの意見によっては指の一本やおっかない。
笑い事で済めばいいんだ。シオンさんの指だけじゃ。あちちち。
がっつくからだよ。あ、ちなみに味噌汁もご飯も作りすぎてるから、おかわりは3杯は絶対食べること。
A few days later, Mion had told me that the hag had heard about my escape.
で、ばあさんはどんな感じだ？バッチェはカンカンでさ、もしも沖宮界隈に帰ってきてるなら、怖っ。で、実際に親父とかの動向。近々の親族会議でシオンをかくまってないか問いた。でも若いのに町中を探させるとか、そういう真似はしないみたいだよ。
Holding a family council means that things will remain in the hag's hands alone. She won't search the town for me. It's like she's unofficially approving my presence. Of course, I'll get caught immediately if they find me in a large public place.
母さんが随分暗躍してくれたみたいだね。
I can tell she's being supported. It's a long story, but my mom is sort of an outlaw, even though she's of the Sonozaki bloodline. A long time ago, she had a huge fight with the hag because she hated the family rules and traditions. She was even excommunicated. My mom was supposed to be the successor, but she was deprived of that title and Sis took her place instead. While she's quiet now, Mom's still an outlaw. She's always been on my side because I also hate rules and traditions.
最初はすっごくカンカンだったらしい。母さんがだいぶなだめて、何のかんの言っても、親父はさ。オッケー。また何かあったら教えてね。本当にヤバくなったら、私もこの町を離れる。葛西とか吉郎おじさんとか、それに母さんとか。おねえ、どうして同じ血を分けた姉妹なのに、シオンだけこんな隠れるように生活しなきゃならないのか。シオンだけ。
I don't know if that means yes.
こんな窮屈な思いをするのはフェアじゃないよ。
I'm just skeptical about this friendship that we have going on.
絶対。ありがとう。気持ちだけでも嬉しいです。表に出たい時とか、シオンがいつでもミオンになれるよう協力するからさ。
Sounded apologetic. I shouldn't go quiet or agree with her. She sticks to things a little too much. Once she goes down, she'll stay there for a while. So I just told her simply.
ありがとう。実はそれが一番あり。じゃあ切りますね。じゃあね。またね。
Matane. Yay, we finished the chapter. Okay. I don't know, interesting stuff. It's that second chapter that's in my mind. I was it the second chapter that's in my mind? It's the one where Shion is captured. Whatever chapter that is, the one where she's captured and like you get stabbed or some shit, and it's like real weird. And there's like dead people. I think it's the second one. I remember like being surprised because the first one was all about what's her name, the girl that we still know nothing about. Well, we know a little bit about, but not very much. Rena, and then the second one was about Mion, and Mion was kind of, I believe, that was the one where they tortured Shion, and that seemed like they hated each other. So I don't know what that could be, or why that would be. Maybe the hag tells Mion to stop communicating with her and just to do that. But then it seemed like they truly hated each other there. Unless that's just all a lie. Unless that whole episode is a lie and they just faked all of it. Because they did a pretty convincing acting job. I would be pretty impressed if they were like... If they had the balls. If they had the balls to say that that was all an act in the second one where Shion was being tortured, I would be very surprised. I also wonder what timeline this is, because this is happening a year before Keiichi Maebara's presence. I wonder if we'll go into Keiichi Maebara's presence and kind of see what timeline we're in, because it'll be very apparent based on what Keiichi does, where we are, and what's going on. I imagine that this is starting with first timeline, and then how do the demons come into play? Why does Mion and Rena why does life drain from their eyes, and they start acting freaking crazy? That seems like it's out of the realm of possibility as far as right now goes. As far as the information that we know, obviously we've been away for 2 years at a boarding school or whatever, or however long we were away. I believe it was 2 years. Or something along those lines. Man, time frames and very specific things I can't remember for some reason. It'll be interesting to kind of learn how everything goes. I gotta go ahead and end it before this reaches an hour here. I appreciate you guys all watching and leaving comments like you do. If you guys enjoyed this episode, please hit the like button. I see you guys doing that on this, and it really helps on a small series. Not too many people are watching this, but I appreciate all the people that do. Obviously, it's a big time investment, so thank you guys. And I'll see you guys in the next episode, whenever that may be. I'm going to try to get it out soon, because I know I've been taking some breaks more often, just because I don't want to record when I don't want to record. I get into moods. Anyway, I'll keep talking on forever if I don't stop. So I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and peace out, you guys.